everyone, welcome back. Big Time Auto Racing, episode 25. Now, this episode's a little bit different, right? Because we just sat through a rain fest. We didn't even get to race. You guys already know by now, there was no racing for the car store at North Wilkesboro. Obviously, that's not what we was expecting to say coming back into this episode. I know that we kind of hyped this one up and was hoping that I finally got to race and all that good stuff, but turns out it got rained out and I can't race the next one because I got a wedding this weekend. So the emotional hammer that's just ready to dig is beaten, and I'm ready to go, but just can't race yet. So just holding my horses right now. But we did survive. Brandon, I think the odds were stacked against us. Probably once they announced that the race was canceled, we kind of looked at each other like, oh no.
I was standing under your tent.
That means there's 6 to 10 hours of just raising hell coming up. You know what I mean? So that's the one good thing.
We were back at our campers at definitely a record time.
Yeah.
It was before 10 o'clock.
And I think people can understand that it put the community in danger when they postponed that race, because that literally gave the entire tour an extra 4 hours of beer drinking in North Wilkesboro, and we got it done. We got it done for sure, and it was a good night. Everybody had a great time. Everybody survived, I think.
Yeah, there was no casualties.
No casualties. It was cool. It was a different feel this year. There wasn't as many people lingering around because the rain out, obviously. It was a different experience. We didn't get to do the go-kart racing as much as we'd like to or hoped for. And the tour, they had their hands full trying to make the calls all day. I mean, everybody said for a week, try to give everybody hell. Y'all gonna be swimming all week next week. And I try to give those pessimistic assholes the business every time they'd say it. Nope, I know how Wilkesboro it is. The dam, it's a mountain, and when you get near it, it breaks up. All these storms happen all the time. I've been doing this shit since I was a baby. I know how this works. It don't rain there. Boy, was I wrong. I single-handedly tried to carry the load on optimism for no rain, and I just basically looked like a damn idiot all weekend. So I just want to go ahead and first and foremost apologize for my terrible weather reporting. I was just trying to be optimistic. However, we did get to make laps, Brandon. That was fun. You was pretty fast, and for most of the day on the board, you was pretty high up there, and I ended up pretty decent. It looked like we were going to be pretty good on making the show and stuff, so it was at least an exciting day for us.
Yeah, I mean, we and in typical fashion, when the track did go hot, you and I found ourselves with each other.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
it never
we got
failed.
some cool pictures near each other on the track practicing, and I think you ran about maybe 2 whole laps behind me, and then I absolutely blew a corner and said, "All right, bringing it to you, boys." You have to really get on your get when you have some people around you can trust for sure. So yeah, it was fun. We did get our photo op in, so that was nice, but didn't get to make a lot of laps. Made about 10 to 20 or something like that.
We were out there together. Yeah, somewhere around. Heck, I think it was like 10 to 15 even.
But it was fun to get back and experience the hornet's nest of car store practice, like I called it last year. I guess when you come off the bench and ain't racing in a while, Wilkesboro trying to make the show's a hell of a one to do. I obviously mentioned that, but it felt, at least last year I got a taste of all this, so it didn't feel that out of the ordinary for me.
Right.
You can definitely see there's some guys around that typically don't run car store races that were like, holy hell, this is wild. What are we doing? And that's just part of it. It's I
will say
there's a lot of race cars there. You got to make stuff happen.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of this, and not to get too long-winded about it, but I know me and you, during one of the rain delays, talked about it. The first 10 minutes of car store practice was an absolute freaking free-for-all.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like it was like drafting practice at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people splitting, people pulling up, people racing each other, and me and you were following each other, but 2 car length gap,
Yeah.
I mean, there was literally guys trying to give each other a donut on the door going on the straightaways. I'm like, all right, boys, this is a little extreme.
Yeah, everybody was pretty ornery, that's for sure, to get the day started. I mean, I guess part of that's knowing how many cars are there, you're going to have limited opportunities and make a lot of runs. So I decided to start on old tires because I figured the pace would be really slow to begin with because of all the cars out there. I ended up finding a pretty good gap. And, so I didn't really get to show a lot of speed. We were a little nervous to begin with, kind of like, all right, man, we're about 3/10 slower than we were last time we was here. What do you need? I said, tires. So we put tires on it, and all of a sudden we're right where we need to be. Same tires as everybody else. We probably should have started on the stickers, being as many as we had to pick from, but that was just kind of a lapse in judgment on my part. I was just kind of going to try to save it for a sticker run because I figured the pace would be slow, but in reality it just made me kind of slower and in the way and not able to gauge what I could do against other cars for that first little run. But when we put tires on it, went back out there, kind of immediately picked up the time that we wanted to be. I think we got down to the 50s, and that wasn't a great lap, but still put us like top 25 and or top half of the field, I should say. There's about 40 cars there, so it was it was nerve-wracking. You wanted to be fast and definitely in practice, you want to feel good about going into qualifying. And I did. I felt pretty good about it. I thought we were going to be in pretty good shape. I'm not saying we were going to sit on the pole and lead every lap and win the race, but I was definitely excited. And I think we had a, pretty good little package put together. So I'm excited to get back. I mean, it's a whole lot easier to be excited to get back when you didn't suck all damn day. And, I was pretty frustrated that it got rained out, but I will say I was a little bit relieved because, it rained out qualifying and they pretty much made the announcement, all right, we're going to start by points, and I don't have any points. So does that mean I go home? So it was a lot of nerve-wracking moments there. I thought like, all right, so if I don't have any points, then did I just waste all this time getting all this shit ready? Because, so it was a little nerve-wracking there. It wasn't fun to sit there and worry about that stuff, but eventually they kind of cleared the air and said, all right, look, everybody starts by points, and the rest of the guys, since 41, or I think, was it 41 they ended up being there?
Yeah.
Since 41 showed up and not 48 or 50, they ended up saying, well, we'll start them all if we get a chance. So I ended up basically peel drawing 40th. And Josh Berry was 39th, and Josh Berry was 40th, and I think they were actually sending one car home, and that was supposed to be Dexter. It was the rumor. That might be wrong, Dexter Knipe Jr. I don't know why. I'm sure somebody out there does. I didn't really inquire too much about why he was going to be the one sent home out of everyone. I know it. No way it had anything to do with points, right?
No, I believe so. Like what you were talking about on the pill deal, he was just unfortunately he was of the ones that needed a pill, he was the highest number.
No shit.
Does that make sense?
So they were going to send a car home based off a pill draw.
Yeah. Because that's how they were going to, because keep in mind, so there was 46 on the entry list, 43 showed up.
Yeah.
And then I think 2 ended up going home after the way Tuesday looked. And then we got there, did tech, so on and so forth. And that was
41 cars were ready to qualify.
Correct. And so that was the way it was going to go if it was 46, 43, 40, whatever. And so,
right.
Shitty deal, I agree with you, but yeah. So
yeah, there's really no way to, I guess, like set stuff. You don't ever know how many cars are going to be there. You don't know what the weather's going to do. But obviously, if that would have been me on the outside of that pill draw thing, I wouldn't have went down without a fight. And I feel like Dexter probably wouldn't have either. He probably knew it was going to get rained out, so he didn't make a big fuss. But yeah, that stuff, I feel like there's got to be different options for a race that big. Because
here's all I'm going to say. I looked at my dad because obviously, and much like a lot of your family, your dad even, they started 43 there back in the day.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think it's okay for that rate, Granted,
I think in that scenario, you kind of have to start 41 or start 30 or start what you originally were going to start. You know what I mean? You can't just send one home. I feel like that's a little tough. I'd rather you send 2 or 3 home. Even that don't make sense either. There's really no way to make sense of it, and that's probably why they had to make the call they did. Luckily, it rained out anyway, so it didn't really force a hand for anyone, but. Yeah. Just part of it, just a little top of the conversation. I know a lot of people were asking questions about that, so it looks like that was the plan in place regardless. They were gonna start 40 cars if the rain was gonna force that, and that's the way it was gonna seem. And it looked like Dexter drew 41. I wasn't far from it. I drew 39. So And I guess Josh Berry was in that same group. If Josh Berry
Yeah.
draws 41 there, then the Cup driver in the field is out of the car or out of the race. So yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's a tough scenario. There's really not a lot you can do about it. With that's just how most late model series don't have 50 cars showing up to try to make the damn field. It's a weird scenario. You can't it's easy to throw stones from the outside for sure. So
The unfortunate part of it, and I'm sure we'll just touch base on this briefly because we heard it a lot of people. I think the tour had the odds stacked up against them a little bit. I know a lot of us competitors, including me and Dylan ourselves, we're wondering where are the Air Titans, this, that. There was a lot of speculation around that. I think that definitely would have helped. I'm not bashing the tour, but I know Dylan and I mean, again, we were all, we were staying up there in our campers for the week. I believe I'm right on this. Around 9:15, 9:30 Wednesday night, it did not rain again. Yeah. Until Thursday about 4 or 5 o'clock. So
yeah,
that was tough. The same thing kind of happened Tuesday after we all left after Tech. I believe the pro race probably could have happened Tuesday night if they had stuck it out.
They pretty much called. They made the decision at 9:05 p.m. That's when the call was made. And yeah, about 9:03 it wasn't raining.
By the time everybody shut their gates up, which was pretty quick because everybody knew what was happening. I mean, people started loading up at probably about 8:30, I'd say. Yeah. Putting jacks in and, I mean, I looked over y'all's way. Chad and them were already loading their box up. I mean, everybody knew what was coming. Yeah. But so it was unfortunate. It's a shitty deal all the way around. We're not bashing the tour. It's just it was a lot. And I think not to knock anywhere else, but if it's somewhere else, are we talking about it this much, or is there that much discussion? I would say probably not.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, hey, we're going on to the next one. But I think all that hype and everybody at midweek race, Wilkesboro taking off work, there's a lot of variables there, right?
For sure.
So definitely unfortunate, but rumor has it that, of course, they are rescheduling it. I'm not going to say the date because I don't know, but all I have been told is that it sounds very promising that instead of it being a weekday race, it will be a weekend.
Yeah, we'll be it should be Saturday racing, and that also would put it, should be a late summer show is what I'd expect. It kind of has to be because there's a finale there in October, so you can only put it so late, and there's only a few gaps in the schedule, and there's a couple. I believe it's early August and late, and then there's some even earlier than that, but not many. So they're limited options, and I'm sure they'll find the best one. But I would say late summer would be a very accurate guess. For sure. So if anybody's planning on trips or something, I would say some circle in that area for sure. Because it'll still be a hell of a race. Obviously, it ain't the prelim to the All-Star race anymore, but honestly, that might make it more special, just giving us our own day. Yeah,
that's what I think. Yeah, it'll give us a spotlight.
Yeah, give us our own day again, like we did in 2022, and have a bunch of late model fans around, short track racing fans, so that aren't just there because it's a NASCAR race. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's it's a little bit different crowd on All-Star Week than it is Redler Race Week, and that has its positives and negatives to it for sure. I mean, it obviously gives you a lot more exposure, but you're not seeing the same old folks that you drink beer with after every race, it seems like, on most Saturday nights. So it'll be nice to have the Redler crowd back there. I'm sure that gives them opportunity to get tickets a little bit easier and stuff like that too. So, and not only that, it's if it's a weekend race, it may give more people the opportunity to come watch the race because it ain't on Wednesday nights. So it'd be neat to be more of a standard car store event at Wilkesboro with no support divisions or anything. So no support divisions, and we're not a support division. It's the premier event, so it's typical car store races. What I would imagine would happen. So at least hopefully something along those lines. So I'm excited for getting back there. Obviously, this gives us more reason to have a Wilkesboro podcast again. So and then any excuse we have to go camp out and hang out at Wilkesboro, I think we'll take. So it's hard to beat that racetrack for me and you. So I don't think anybody's going to have an issue with a good rescheduled date at Wilkesboro. Makes everybody happy. Obviously the rain sucks, and that made for a stressful week, but the rest of the week at Wilkesboro was really fun. We got to do a lot of cool stuff. Got to go watch some cup racing, drank a whole lot of beer.
Survived what I still say was a tornado.
Yeah, we survived the great storm of what was that? Saturday or Friday that happened?
Saturday.
Saturday. The great storm of Saturday was
Lost some easy ups, rest in peace.
yeah, a
but,
lot of
and
easy
some
ups are
camper
gone.
canopies, but
There's a lot of art pieces laying out. It looks like I mean, if you spray paint them things red, they'd put fences around them in Chicago or something, you know. But it's just a bunch of mangled up fences everywhere. It's you know, or not fences, mangled up tents and canopies. It was, and the amount of mud and rain and the damn trucks getting stuck, and you guys seen it all. A lot of that. So on our land, most of our land, everybody's pretty like permanent for the week, I should say. Like they don't really. There's not a lot of
Same
travel.
crowd, yeah.
There's not a lot of travel corridors on our land, so we didn't have a lot of issues as far as having to pull people out and stuff. Like people kind of know, like, hey, if you leave right now, it's gonna be tough. So everybody kind of settled in and just hung out anyway. So it worked out pretty good on our land. We didn't have a whole bunch of headaches as far as getting people out and stuff. But god dang, there's a river going past the Neon Shack at one point. There's trucks submerged. It seemed about half submerged. So it was wild. It was I ain't seen a rain like that in a long time or ever there. Really, it seems like. My grandpa says it's been 20, 30 years since he's seen the pond get that high that fast. The pond that we have down there, fishing pond, stocked and everything, was all the way out to the road at one point. So it was wild.
Cleared the railings of the dock.
Yeah, the railings. You didn't even see the dock anymore. It was pretty damn wild. I did not think that was even coming. I knew it was going to rain some more. We left the truck race knowing that, oh boy, about to get a little heavy, but didn't know that was coming. If I'd known that was coming, I'd have helped get tents down somewhere because I thought it was just going to be a little rain. We was going to sit under the canopies and just, have a beer and wait for it to pass. But, I mean, it absolutely came out of nowhere. And I've got a newborn and 2 dogs with me, and I could give 2 shits about anybody's canopies. And we were going to hang out inside and make sure nothing was going to fly around and hit anybody. So that was our goal. It worked out pretty good. No cars got effed up too bad, but it was a damn close one as far as the canopies and tree limbs and stuff hitting it. Yeah, it was a wild deal. If anybody else camped there and you had damn canopy damage, let us know. We'll give you a shout out. RIP canopies. There's a lot of bad ones out there. We went and seen some mangled messes. And there's a couple of campers that lost some canopies. Or awnings, I'm sorry. Lost awnings. A lot of canopies flying around, obviously. There was, I hate to hear if any tent campers out there, they probably had a rough time. If anybody had some tents mounted, there's some, that could be bad. I know the go-kart track was pretty flooded at one point, but it drained well. I know that lower area below the go-kart track, it's not our land, but it's a lot lower than ours. I know that place had to be flooded for sure. So hopefully everybody ended up not ruining too much of their stuff. I know I have a few pairs of shoes that are shit canned at this point, and it was a wet, stinky ass weekend. Just how mud smells in old cow pastures.
It literally rained every day from Monday,
yeah,
leading into the Tuesday practice day.
It was like the damn
until
Forrest
Sunday.
Gump. It was like a Forrest Gump movie. It didn't quit raining. It was like Vietnam. I would compare. That was about the closest thing was the Vietnam scene, and Forrest Gump was basically how Wilkesboro was. Just rained for about 40 days. It was a biblical rain, but it was good. It also rained a lot of beers. We had a lot of beers. Me and you struggled a little bit switching between beers and the white stuff or the brown stuff, and trying to figure out what the recipe was for us, and that was a tightrope we walked. That was about the only strategy we had to deal with this past week, because we didn't do much racing.
Are we saving tires, or are we going to set the pace?
Yeah, we were trying to. I was mostly setting pace. Burnt the tires off Saturday night. Felt like hell on Sunday. That's for sure. Didn't feel good for the All-Star race. That's on me. I was a wounded soldier. For anybody that seen me Sunday morning, I apologize. And by Sunday morning, I mean about 2 p.m. It was a headache morning for sure. I had to take a power nap after waking up, and hangovers hit a little different when you got Wilkesboro right up the hill. You really try to power through it, but it was a tough morning for sure. But we'll have that. It's a part of racing, part of being a fan of North Wilkesboro for sure. But yeah, that's all we got for Wilkesboro. We didn't get to race, but we did have a damn good time. Got to do all sorts of fun stuff, events. I got to go and, got to do a lot of media stuff that was neat for somebody like me. I don't really have a crazy story other than Wilkesboro, so it's cool to kind of be put in somewhat of a spotlight and have people interested in what we was talking about, or how I've lived my life up to this point. So it was neat. It was a neat weekend, even though I didn't get to race. It felt like I definitely have blue balls after the whole week of 2 weeks of waiting to race, and then nothing. Not getting a race is, you can only imagine how that feels, and yeah, it sucks. But obviously, really blessed to even be able to have the opportunity to do all that or anything. So, yeah, super, super grateful, blessed, the whole deal, and can't wait to get back to Wilkesboro. Obviously, most special place in the world to me, but can't wait to. It sucks to rain, but it just gives us another week there, so I'm really not that pissed off about it, to be honest with everyone. I was a little mad that night, but here we are. We get to look forward to 2 more Wilkesboro races at this point, and it feels like we've already raced it one time. So
yeah, Dylan was irritated, which so was I, until about 11:59.
Yeah.
p.m. Wednesday night, and then
it felt a lot better.
Afterthought.
Yeah, just kind of afterthought at that point. We've made 4 Wilkesboro trips this year. We've had a test day, we've had a race day, and then we're gonna have 2 more race days. So
yeah,
we got 4 Wilkesboro trips planned.
That's 2 more camper weekends.
Yep. So times are looking good for the
folks. We are taking Liquid IV sponsorship.
Yep, we could use anytime. Anybody that's got a hydration sponsorship and/or camper company, RVs, we could use it, and it's a damn good place to advertise. We need help, especially on the hydration side. Up next, we got Tri-County Speedway. Now, pretty good track for you, Brandon. You've always enjoyed Tri-County, even after the repave. Obviously, we've had quite a few podcast episodes surrounding Tri-County, so we don't have to talk about the old days there and the new days and how the track's changed that much. But I do have quite a few track facts here, thanks to Car Store Digest, for the Tri-County Speedway. There's been 8 races there. The first one was in 2015. Obviously, a lot of these are all the races until 2022 or 21, I believe, was on the old asphalt. So, winners on the new asphalt has been Connor Jones, or did Minnie? It was 1 was not paved yet, right?
Minnie won when 1 and 2 was unpaved, and
Connor Jones won the first full paved race there.
That is correct.
Okay, so Connor Jones. Oh
no, I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Was it Landon?
Connor Jones won the first full paved corner race there. The straightaways had not been paved yet.
No, I raced last year and it was paved fully. So Connor Jones must have won. He won the year.
That wasn't last year though.
22. I meant.
Yeah,
22.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
The first year I ran Tri-County, Connor Jones won. And it was
Correct.
fully paved that year. Since it's been paved fully, Connor Jones, Landon Huffman, and Butterbean have won races there. Landon, of course, won the 200 lapper. Butterbean has sat on the pole for the last 2 races there, so obviously Butterbean's going to be a favorite for sure. Not that that's a big surprise, and he had a good run in the truck series at North Wilkesboro. Shout out. Love seeing Car Store guys go up the damn ranks and do good. Put on a show, finish 4th. So hope to see him get some more opportunities there. That was awesome. I know we was pulling like hell for him. But yeah, overall, driver stats here at the Tri-County Speedway. Guess who leads in all-time starts? Deet McCaskill, the old trusty veteran, the man. He hasn't won a race there, but he does have 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. He's led about 88 laps in his career. His average finish is 9.5, so a good solid top 10 career average for Deet, of course. And right there with him is Chad McCumbee, who is only has 3 top 10s there, no top 5s or wins, but a lot of starts, and seems like every time he runs there, he's pretty good. He just kind of never the winner, but always seems like he's right there towards the. I know the year he snookered me out of a top 10 a couple years ago, and I was like, damn it, but he did it right. He gave me the old fakeroo, put it on the bottom, and got around about 3 of us with about damn 5 to go. I'm like, damn it, I should have done that. Because I was right in front of him for the last 20 laps, and then he figured it out. I'm like, shit. Anyways, And then Bobby McCarty, of course, he has a win there as well. And then Landon has a win just last year. Obviously, a little bit different situation. He's looking for a good rebound. So he ran good there in his home car until he got in a big wreck. And you guys seen the whole body fly off of that thing. But it's a different car. So, like, I'm sure, Landon's had a tough little year to this point. But, he's looking for a rebound as well. So, just a name that sticks out with a win. Other than that, man, we've got a pretty big entry list, I'd imagine. Is how many cars we got this week?
So I'm looking at it right now. I believe, if my math's right, about 30.
30 cars? Oh, boy. Be a nice, busy practice day for sure. How's that? What's, any big expectations for this weekend's race, Brandon? How you feeling about it?
I would love to go in there, dude, and just get a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
We've been close. Obviously, like me and you talked, we didn't get to run Wilkesboro. So that's, neither here nor there, but I know, like you touched on, you and I both felt pretty good about our cars there. I kind of felt like that was maybe going to be the night to finally get it.
Yeah.
Was just outside of it, finishing 11th at Ace, which is the last completed race that we had. So I did test today, along with, I'd say, about a third of this entry list, give or take a few. And so had some good cars to judge off of, and we need a little bit, but we're not bad by any means. Maybe the best I'm not going to say the best I've ever been there, but I'll say the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Drivability wise.
Right.
So if we can get the speed to match that, I feel pretty good about it. I'm not going to go out and say we're going to win or nothing. Obviously, that's the plan. But, I do feel like, we have a piece this weekend good enough to hopefully go run top 10 and maybe even top 5.
Is there any local Tri-County guys racing this weekend?
Not that I see on the entry list, but man, me and you know how this deal goes. You could roll in there tomorrow and old Charlie Watson might come through the gate.
You could always see a couple local guys between Thomas Bean, Mitch, Charlie Watson. A lot of those guys will definitely show up without unannounced and probably be a threat. So those guys have throughout the year. Yeah, Thomas has ran 4 races at Tri-County and had a top 10 there. So wouldn't be surprised if somebody like that joined the fray. But I've got to watch a good handful of races at Tri-County this year so far, and obviously it's a way different racetrack when the Cars Tour's there. We run a little bit different groove. It seems like they in years past we've seen guys wrap the bottom and win the race and land and huffing. We've seen guys run way up by the damn wall and win it. So it's been it's just a year. It changes every year. It seems like it changes every race. There's a different line the Cars Tour runs there, so it's always fun to see how the race plays out. It'll be a good one to watch for sure. So definitely tune in to Flow on Saturday night for the Old Cars Tour race at the Tri-County Speedway. What's the title of this weekend's race, Brandon? What we got on the entry list? What's it say?
I think it's the Sound Gear 225.
The Sound Gear 225, at Tri-County.
Yeah, the Sound Gear 225. Yes, sir.
Sound Gear 225 at Tri-County. So the pros will be there too. Obviously, checked into the pro race. They'll be going on before the late model stocks. And then late model stocks will be going green. What's your ETA this week, Brandon? What are you thinking? Or ETG, estimated time of green?
For us?
Yeah. Tri-County is always a damn doozy in the pros. So it seems like every year.
I think the last 2 years we've had them taken out of there with 2 trucks.
Yeah, definitely tune in.
Hell, last year we had the fight.
Yeah, you might not even worry about our green flag this week because you might want to tune in to the.
It might be about 10:55.
You might want to tune in to the damn pro race first, regardless, because no matter what, because there's usually some action at Tri-County in the pros. I guess just because it's a ripped up track and they really race tight there, and you see them. They use a lot of their fenders. So yeah, Tri-County, it looks like a good little race this weekend. I am excited as hell to watch it. Again, I'm going to a wedding, so I will not be able to be there in person, but I'll be watching and pulling like hell for you.
So it says 8 o'clock. Not really sure why, but 8 o'clock green flag for the pros.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say 10 o'clock for late models.
Yeah. Could be a 10 o'clock green flag. We don't know yet. Could be later. But if you are going to the race, obviously, trackside parking, I'm sure they are very limited on spaces at this point. I think they sell some ahead of time, maybe. It might be first come, first serve on Cars Tour Day. I hate to steer anybody wrong there. You might want to check into their Facebook page. I did not look. But Most of the year they have reserved spots, but I do think Car Store Day is first comes for first serve. So yeah, get to the track if you want to do a trackside, which I'd recommend. Definitely, it's fun to be able to pull your truck bed right to the damn thing and get your cooler out, have your couple beers, or if you've got the kids and you want to bring them to the race, it's a little bit easier to have the car and all that up there if you need a little quiet place and all that. I'm starting to understand how parents have to watch races and stuff now. So yeah, that's a good track to go experience a car store race. Usually do a fan fest there. It's always pretty good, always a good turnout and stuff. And so Tri-County is always a good spot. So definitely check into the trackside stuff if you have the opportunity to do so, or a vehicle you want to bring and do that. I'd recommend carpooling, get a couple buddies together and go do it. It's a great place to do it, especially if you're in this area. Not many racetracks in the greater Hickory, this side of the foothills area, have good trackside parking. You can't really, Hickory, you got to enjoy the race from the stands, so it's cool. Good little change up if you've never been there. So yeah, check out Tri-County this weekend, 8 o'clock on Flow Racing. You'll get to see the pros do battle. It's usually exciting, and then the late model stock boys will fire up right after that and go green.
I'm sorry, I misspoke too. Mitch is on the entry list.
Mitch Walker is on the entry list. That's not surprising. Mitch usually shows up for the Tri-County race. But, yeah, it's going to be a good one. The points are still really tight. Obviously, Connor Hall still leading by 14 over Bobby McCarty, Carson Quaffle, Minnie Tyrell, and Trayton Lapsevich. All of them are within 16 points of each other, so it's a very tight race. It's the first one that's been it's been tight every year, but it seems like this one, anybody in the top 8 is a legitimate threat still, because all the way to 8th is 19 points. Then it drops to 33 at 9th. So you got a lot of guys in the top 8 that could end up being a championship winner at the end of the year, and that's really cool to see, especially this early on. So keep on to watching, everyone. The car store has been very exciting to watch this year, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it. I ain't even got to race yet. I've been watching it, so yeah, I can say that. It's been really exciting. So we appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be back next week after Tri-County. Hopefully, Brandon's got beer stained shirts and stuff from winning the race, or at least a good top 10, and we can have a cold beer and dissect it next week. Appreciate everybody listening.
I guess if we park it, I'm coming to Wilkesboro, I guess.
Yeah, just come straight to Wilkesboro. We'll be wedding partying at that point anyway, so we'll definitely get it after it then. We'll never make it to Golf Sunday, that's for sure.
Yeah, no chance.
This episode has been brought to you guys by GeoCut Laser and Powder, GeoCutFabrication.com. You can order on-demand laser cut parts online with a few clicks of the mouse. Our good buddy Adam Zirkle runs that. He's the man when it comes to everything you need on GeoCutFabrication.com. Go there, you can find out what he can do for you. Also, he's got good Facebook pages, everything like that to kind of show what he does. No minimum order quantity, so he can go in. If you need a little project, he's your guy. If you need a massive project, he's your guy. So check out GeoCutFabrication.com or GeoCut Laser and Powder on all socials. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. This is Big Time Auto Racing. We will see you guys next week.